My goodness. I'm late once again. It's like I walked out of this room to go find, some water to drink. And I'm late. I'm late. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. We are talking about Manuel Neuer's contract. Yay! Another sexy topic to talk about today. So, according to Bild, Neuer is demanding a 5-year contract until 2023 with or 2025 with an annual salary of over 20 million. Bayern wants to compromise by offering Neuer a contract until 2023 with an option for another year alongside high premiums related to appearances. A reason for the high demands is that there are speculations within the team about the wages of the players coming from Spain in the dressing room. There are discussions whether Lucas Hernandez and Philippe Coutinho earn over 20 million euros per year. Neuer is also fearful that Alexander Neuer has been promised games, which could reduce Neuer's appearances and thus deprive him from the bonuses and the automatic 1-year extension. So basically, long story short, Neuer wants more money. He's 34 years old. He's going to be 39 by 2025. He's basically going to be the first 39-year-old to make 20 million a year playing football. He could be that. No one thinks that's correct. I think Neuer should stay here for 2-3 years. Leave away for Alexander Neuer. You're the captain of the team. Obviously, yeah, it's your job, but I was just hoping that maybe he would be more of a fan of the club at this point and just not demand these high wages, because ultimately you wear the captain armband. Probably not correct, but if they're then Bayern need to stay firm. Man U's agents should be more realistic, in my opinion. It is correct. It's coming from Bild, and Bild have gotten a lot of the contract negotiations right. They've gotten a lot of them very spot on. And also, if it wasn't right, Neuer would have signed the contract by now. And the first few talks have gone wayward. So honestly, I believe it's true. So honestly, Neuer, 20 million a year is ludicrous. Why is Lucas Hernandez on 20 million a year? Why? That's the first thing that's coming to my mind. How is he on 20 million a year? He hasn't played a game for us. So you're telling me Lucas Hernandez is making 20 million this year, and he has not played a single game for Bayern Munich? Well, he's played like 2 or 3 and as substitute. That's why they keep trying to play Lucas. I think that's even why they're open to selling Alaba, because ultimately Lucas Hernandez is getting paid 20 million a year and they expect him to be the best center back of all time, because Virgil van Dijk isn't paid 20 million a year. Van Dijk is like, oh my goodness, 150k a week times 52. That's how much Van Dijk is making. Van Dijk is actually on 7.8 million a year. That's what Van Dijk is getting paid, right? Because he's getting paid 100, or is it 200? I don't know. But if Van Dijk is on that, why is Lucas Hernandez on 20 million a year, 20 million euros? Why is he on that? Why? Who asked? And Philippe Coutinho, I said it. Coutinho being here ruins our wage structure, because Lewandowski is going to look at it maybe next year or in 2 years and say, hey, I'm important still. I want money. He got paid this. I want to get paid this. This is why we shouldn't be doing panic buys, right? Sane was going to come in and get paid 15 million a year. He would have been one of the top earners of the club, right? But that's because he was a quality player coming in. But look, the addition of Coutinho, and because the transfer fell through, now we had to go and do this panic buy because we didn't have anyone else to go buy, and we loaned Coutinho out, pay Barcelona. Hold on, I have to know I think we paid Barcelona about 25 million, and we're paying Coutinho 25 million. It's pretty obvious. So Coutinho has ruined our wage structure. He's ruined everything. How much did the loan fee for Coutinho was about 10 million. Okay, that makes sense. And then we're paying Coutinho 25 million. So ultimately, this guy cost us 35 million for 1 season. And this has ruined our wage structure, because you have Manuel Neuer wanting to get paid 20 million a year, right? But that doesn't make any sense, because Neuer's 34 and he's going to be 39 after 5 years, which is the contract length that he's looking for, which doesn't make any damn sense to me, because if you're the club captain, you should be looking for what's best for the club, what's best for the fans, and somehow you want to be here for another 5 years. What are you going to do here for another 5 years? Do you not think we're going to move on from you as a goalkeeper? Did Oliver Kahn sit here at 39 getting paid 20 million, or in his time 5 million a year? No, it didn't happen, because Oliver Kahn loved the club enough and was a huge influence in the club's history, and to realize, hey, I've done my part, I need to leave. Neuer, you've won everything you need to win here. You should go off to Chelsea or something and go retire. Go retire, making you a lot of money in an English club or even Spain or something. I don't know. Would you be letting go for free if he doesn't budge on his wage demands? No, I think we could still get money for Neuer. I think there's actual clubs interested. Chelsea were reportedly interested, but Manuel Neuer wasn't interested in going to Chelsea, which is weird, because the way it looks, he doesn't really want to stay at Bayern until they give him what he wants, which is 20 million a year. What a joke. But honestly, if it came down to letting him go for free, I would. There's really no... Neuer's done everything he can here. I'm always going to know that he's a legend. He's a legend to the goalkeeping position. He's a legend to the club. I'm always going to remember that. But I won't care. I won't really enjoy knowing that he gets paid 20 million and he's going to be here for another 5 years. When we have Alexander Neuer coming in. Neuer's 24 already. He's going to be like 29 if by the time Neuer leaves. And Neuer wants to pretty much be guaranteed all his playing time, which is stupid, because why? What's the point of you getting old if you're not going to move on? Both player and club should decide, I want to move away from this. So honestly, that's where I'm at mentally. The wage demands. You know what? Thiago is going to renew his contract soon. I'm hearing it's going to be for another 3 or 4 years. Hopefully it's 4 years. Thiago he's 28 right now, and he's on the younger side, on the better side of 30 in his prime. Thiago is going to still do a lot here. He's going to win us more trophies. I think Thiago is going to leave as a club legend as well. And, he came in 2014, was it? 2014-15? Wasn't it Thiago, or was it 2014-15? Yeah, I think so. Thiago came here and he's changed. He's done so much already, and he's going to renew his contract. And I think Thiago loves this club, and he always talks about how his family feels at home in Munich. And Neuer doesn't even have a family. He broke up with his girlfriend, his fiance, or I don't know who it was. It was his partner, I guess. Neuer probably just wants money. I don't know. What is it with agents nowadays and wanting to be greedy? Lewandowski's agent just took... How much does Lewandowski make? How much does Lewandowski? He makes 15 million euros. Lewandowski is making 15 million euros at Bayern Munich as we speak. Our most influential, or our star player, is making 15 million. Thomas Müller is making 15 million euros, or just less than 15 million. And think about it. Lewandowski will be thinking, wow, Coutinho hasn't done anything. And he's making Coutinho salary. Coutinho's making, what? Why does it say 11? No, there's no way. Coutinho's making 20. Oh, crap. No, there's no way. Because Coutinho's making at least 20 million euros at Bayern Munich this season. So, there's no way it says 11.23. But these numbers could be wrong. They also say Messi's making 26 million. But Coutinho is making 25 million something euros at Bayern Munich in this season. This 1 year he's here. What? No, shut up. Shut up. I don't want this. Why? Why is he making that much money? And then this is ruining our wage structure. Alaba. Maybe Alaba's like, you know what? I want to make 20 million euros. Lewandowski will come up in a year. I want to make 25 million euros. I'm the best player here. Alphonso Davies himself. Actually, Davies is going to go from 1 million a year to 5 million, which is good. So Bayern spent around 45 million for one season of Coutinho. Exactly. Yes, we paid Barcelona 10 million, and that was the loan fee, and we ended up paying Coutinho his wages. We paid all his wages. I don't think there's a split between Barcelona and Coutinho. They just gave us all his wages, and we're paying the wages. Barcelona wouldn't split wages, but we're paying all of his wages, which is insane. So Coutinho is basically 45 million, and he has not been a 45 million signing. And imagine if we had him for 2 seasons and we were paying that same wage. Coutinho would in 3 seasons rack up a total of 100 million. Which what we could have just bought Sane if he was injured. I'd rather have an injured Leroy Sane, knowing that we have him finally, than have Philippe Coutinho, who's been here and what? How many goals has he scored in big important games? How many assists has he had in big important games, in crucial matches, in games where maybe we were losing? So Coutinho has not been a huge say here, but he's ruined our wage structure. Lucas Hernandez reports that he's getting paid 20 million. What up with these La Liga players coming in? I know they play for these Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, where they have more money, but how is Barcelona affording Coutinho's wages? How is Real Madrid affording these wages? It's crazy. James Rodriguez also, what was James's? James got paid a lot too. Like, what? I don't get it. Why are these Spanish owners? Leave a like on the video if Neuer's ludicrous for demanding 20 million per season and also to be playing game times and to be here for 5 more years. God damn it. Screw that. What is James Rodriguez? What was his loan fee? Because he was just, man, I'm tired of these expensive players. James Rodriguez. James is Colombian and Spanish. That's crazy. I've never seen that hybrid. We paid 15 million for James to come to the club. Real Madrid honestly paid 82 million for James. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Oh, jeez. Real Madrid paid 82 million for James Rodriguez. Mad. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. They could have bought anyone else. They could have literally bought... Wow, Real Madrid paid 82 million for James Rodriguez. I never knew that. I mean, to be fair, Monaco the year before paid 49 million to Porto for James. James has been using expensive transfer fees his whole life because he also went to Porto for 8 million, which is a lot of money to Porto. But still, Neuer wanting 20 million is just ludicrous, and him not even understanding that we're moving on. Leipzig are going to win the Bundesliga. That's if we actually even play it. But as a club captain, I think he should just be a bit more mature. I think he should just be a bit more understanding that, yes, he is at Bayern Munich. Yes, it's not Schalke, his boyhood club, but he's still captain of this club. He should lead by example. What's Lewandowski going to feel like if a 34-year-old Manuel Neuer is making twice or almost twice as much money as he is? Neuer is good, but I don't think he's still so good. We need to extend, but I don't think he is still so good. We need to extend his contract. I'll extend his contract for 2 years, and if he doesn't want 2 to 3 years, he can go, because ultimately he's club captain. A club captain, a leader of the club, the most influential player, who is so connected to the fans. If Neuer wants this, fans will turn against him, and when fans turn against you, the club will literally sell you, and you'll actually look like a Judas. You will not go down as a hero. When fans turn against you, when fans have a stain in their heart because of something you did, if we hear that Neuer renews his contract for 5 more years and Alexander Nubel never gets to play and he's making 20 million a year, 99% of Bayern Munich fans will not feel good about that. And when fans turn against you, you really are in the mud. And that's dangerous for a player like Neuer, because Neuer, you're a leader at the club. Oh my goodness. Because, I mean, 99% of Bayern fans don't want Neuer on 20 million. We all know that Neuer is good, but he needs to move on. Do you think Bayern can win the Bundesliga if it returns? You know what? We just need to win every single game, because I feel like Leipzig are so much closer than we think. We don't give Leipzig enough credit for how actually good they are, but they are so damn good. I think in 2 years, Leipzig will be actual talent challengers for this title if they retain their manager and also their system and also a lot of their players. But if they do that, oh god, we are in big trouble if we don't invest properly, that is. I mean, if we win the CL this year, I think that in 2 years we'll lose the... Well, actually, I think we might win a treble this year, and then next year we'll probably lose out on the Bundesliga, and like, I actually genuinely feel like that, because maybe next year it will be the year we're building something bigger, and we have too many new players, and they haven't fit in the system together. And older players are starting to decline. Maybe a year after, or maybe in 2 years, Lewandowski starting to score less goals, and the onus is on Gnabry to score more, and he's not taking that. You know what? It could be whatever it is. We can't predict. We can't really predict. What if there's another COVID out there? What if there's COVID-20, right? What if there's the coronavirus version 2, and then we have to close stadiums again? You can't really predict, and I don't want to think about it, but hopefully we just get back to playing. Hopefully I can just see players back playing. Leave a like on the video, everyone. Why do I always sell out? Because it helps the videos. I mean, apparently YouTube likes it when people are engaged on the content, because then again they share it to more people. That's how it works, I think. That's why I have to say like the video, because it makes sense. But still, I hope the Bundesliga can return, and when it does, I think it'll be watched by every single country in the world. What if the league returns and an important player like Leroy gets the virus? I don't think that's going to happen. Lewandowski would recover from the virus in 45 minutes on the pitch. No, seriously. Yeah, that was something I was thinking about. I think that players, football is a really physical sport. I mean, you're constantly in each other's faces. So you could easily just get the virus if one player on the other team had it. If the goalkeeper had it and you went for a header, you're gonna somehow, something is gonna get on you, right? So this is why the isolation was important, to get every single player isolated and tested so that we know who gets the virus, right? And if there's any symptoms, we can just stop playing. But I don't think any player is getting the virus. I think clubs are gonna have to take extra precautions to make sure and make damn sure that no player gets that stupid virus, because it would ruin the credibility of German football. It would ruin the Bundesliga's credibility. People would come at it for starting too early. So they're going to do every single thing in their power to make sure the players are not in contact with anyone, and they're just going to isolate the players, which is why, Sabena Strata, Bayern's training ground, literally have a giant barrier just to make sure no one else gets in there, and no person touches it. Right, which is great. I think the team bus, the training ground, I think has been deep cleaned and sanitized or something like that. I think that all those measures have been taken into account. So hopefully when the league returns, there's no concerns about that. And also, it's going to be behind closed doors without hundreds of thousands of fans, because honestly, a fan could touch something and then the player touches it, but the media people are also been isolating, right? So it's just, there's about 250 people needed per stadium per match. Or it also depends on the size of the stadium. But media, reporters, there's production crew for Sky and all these companies, TV companies, right? There's sponsors. Audi have their employees there as well to, look at stuff. But there's so many things that go into it. So hopefully when all this happens, everyone that's involved in the stadiums is, perfectly okay. I honestly believe we can survive without Neuer. We have Nubo. I really hope we will stand with Thiago. This is key for our team. Yeah, Thiago is such an important player for this team. I read somewhere that Bayern players in the dressing room feel as if Thiago is the most talented player in the club, which it's true. I think Thiago is literally one of the most talented players in the world. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I've never seen a player that can do everything. Every single thing Thiago can do. Thiago can take set pieces. Thiago is he's immense. Thiago could be a NASCAR driver and he'd still be on the pitch 90 minutes, bossing it around. Thiago can pass, shoot, dribble, control the ball, tempo. He can tackle. He can intercept the ball. I've never seen a player that can do every single thing. And one thing he was always criticized about was his work rate. Well, he's one of the hardest working CDMs because he's covering every blade of grass on the pitch. And you always see that run that he makes and tracks the opposition players and intercepts the ball. Thiago is immense, and I think, he truly is a crucial player of the squad. And if we don't extend his contract, it's going to look really dull on our board. It's going to look really stupid. Imagine if we give Neuer a contract. I want Thiago here for another 5 years, honestly, or 4 years. I don't care. And also, can someone tell me why contracts only last 5 years? I never understood that. Why are the longest contracts around 5? You should stream around this time because most of your viewers are from Europe. That's true, but I wake up around this time. I just woke up an hour and 30 minutes ago. I woke up 2 hours, about 2 hours ago, right? And I can't stream in the day because I actually have other things to do, right? I can't just wake up and stream FIFA. That would be boring. And I stream around this time because I wanted to stream around this time, but when I have school, right, that's when everyone in Europe is going to sleep, right? And then now I don't. I can stream whenever I want in the morning, but I'm not adjusting my sleep schedule that much. And also, it's just crazy. It's not. Most of my viewers are not from Europe. It's weird. The viewers that watch this, the normal content, like this stuff after, are from America. Yeah, it's very weird. It's odd. And then, the FIFA content is just Europe. It's so weird. I don't understand it. But Europe is supposed to be asleep, but they're not. So really, I'm streaming around this time because, I don't know how Americans are the ones watching this, but like I think a large majority, which is 40%, of my viewers are American of this type of content in the day, and then my FIFA content, it's a large chunk European, so it's like probably 90%. But then, it's crazy. I mean, then again, 40% of Americans, and then 30% Germans, and then 20% English people. It's like all mixed up. So that's crazy to me. So this is why I'm streaming now. And also, I just don't wake up now. I'm not up. I'm not gonna play FIFA now. I could, but I also have other stuff to do. I actually have schoolwork. The bigger you get, the more European watchers you will have. I'm certain of that. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of the subscribers are European, but then viewers are American. We'll see. And also, this content, I'm planning on making more scheduled videos. So maybe I record something. I did it before, and I upload it early in the morning. So, in the morning for me would then be a good time for countries in Europe. So maybe if I upload 8 for me, that would be like 4 p.m. in Germany, right? So that 8 hours apart, I don't care. But that's how I'm planning to do it more, and do more edited content like I did yesterday with how did everyone like that? I mean, I worked hard on that. I was doing it and I was like, this is only going to take a few seconds, and then it took me about an hour and 30 minutes just to make that video, the Bayern tier list video. How did everyone like that from yesterday? I liked it so much that I want to make more videos like that, where I edit, because I do know how to edit videos. I mean, not like edit videos like a studio, but I like editing them. I just like it. So how did everyone like that? I mean, geez, I had fun with it. And also, no one sent me a tier list on Twitter, which tells me that no one cares. I mean, it's okay. We don't all have to care about me. Okay, that was good. I hope more Americans become football / fans. Okay, / the forbidden word fans. That's true, and they will. It's natural. Especially, I mean, the fan base here is the fastest growing league. The MLS is the fastest growing league in the last few years or so. It's getting crazy, and I think that if they implement all the necessary things like promotion, relegation, all these aspects of it, I think Americans will love not only the MLS, but then just the rest of football. Because generally speaking, if Americans didn't support, European teams, you would all be broke. I'm not just saying. You wouldn't, if you didn't have people here, because America is the biggest and most, active spenders of money in sports, I think. We spend a lot of goddamn money, right? Billionaires from America pump money into European clubs all the time. I mean, Liverpool is owned by Americans. And the fan bases here are crazy. When someone's a fan of Bayern, they're buying everything Bayern because they're generally richer. I liked it, but I think Pavard is better than you might think. I think he's a bit average. Let's have this argument now, actually. I just think that what the Pavard brings to us is, yes, people say he brings balance, but I don't understand. Philippe Lam, there's a lot of solid players out there. You can go get Jordan Henderson in midfield. Is he the best? No, for sure. Germany benefited so much from American investors throughout history. Yeah, I mean, America's the biggest marketplace ever. If you want to make a real business, you have to incorporate Americans somehow because we like spending money. I've spent a lot of money on just stuff. What have I just spend money on random stuff. You know, it's just the mentality here. When you like something, you spend money on it. Americans also spend money the most on TV, right? Look at movies that come out, billion-dollar movies. But when I see a movie that comes out from Germany, they're not getting 1 billion in the box office, but Americans will give you 2 billion if the movie is good enough. So yeah, if the football will become like universally perfect once Americans finally get to support it freely, and that means that the MLS has to change a lot of things. And when Americans start seeing, oh, Christian Pulisic, you know how many like normal Americans that don't care about football that actually know who Christian Pulisic is, that actually know any, because it's a lot. They know so much because it's American, right? Americans really like America people. Like we like each other, if Christian Pulisic is playing for Chelsea, you'll bet Americans will actually buy Christian Pulisic shirts just to actually support Pulisic. It's so crazy because it's the only thing they have in common is that they're from the same country. That's it. It's crazy. And this place is big. Like the one state I live in could literally have its own league. How many people do we actually have in Colorado? We could actually be as a little country. We have Colorado, this little has 6 million people, about 6 million, right? We could literally have our own domestic league. California could also be its own country. 40 million people. Los Angeles, a little freaking city, has 4 million people. Chicago has 2.7 million people. Imagine just 300,000 from each little state is a fan of football. That would, oh my God, it would skyrocket the football economy. Giovanni Renner could be the next big thing from the U.S. Yeah, Dortmund just like having Americans, don't they? Alphonso Davies is, look at Canada. It looks like football all over Canada is booming now just because of Davies. It is. Canada likes hockey. Next thing you know, they're going to start producing talent. They're going to start caring more. You're going to see more influence from the American football team. Obviously the women's team is successful, but ultimately people care more about the men's team. And even when the men's team was crap, they were still heavily more supported than the women's team, which indicates that people care more about male football. And ultimately, what I think will happen is when that team gets good as well, which is through comprehensive effort from the MLS to improve just everything, the industry here, guess what? It would be insane. It's like people would start supporting more. People wouldn't feel inclined. Even Robin and his kids said they have to laugh when they see David sprint. He's crazy fast. Yeah, I just laugh when someone's going against him, because even if they get past him, he just has the burners to get back on track. Yeah, the next one is Jonathan David. I know you think he hasn't proven himself, but I think he's very good. Yeah, he hasn't proven himself. I think he still has a lot. He's playing the Belgium league. Okay, well, it's not like some, if you're a kid and you're scoring that many goals in any league, you're good. But he's not playing in La Liga, that's for sure. He's not playing in the Bundesliga. He's not playing in the Prem, and of course he'll be good, but he just doesn't have. He's 20 still, and he'll move to a big club soon, or a decent sized club. I hope he moves to a big club, gets loaned out, gets found out what he's about, and then we can finally say, okay, this kid is this. But he has 18 goals and 8 assists in the Jupiler Pro League. For a 20-year-old, that's insane. He was born in New York, so you're gonna. I don't know why his citizenship is Canadian, but he was born in New York, so he's American and Canadian. He's just North American. What you're gonna see is that people all over. I think he went to Canada to play for the national team or something. But people from all over the U.S. It's gonna be insane. It's just gonna happen. To be fair, Davies played in the MLS before Bayern. Yeah, but he played for a Canadian team. I don't know. I don't understand. So Major League Soccer would just be for it's for Canada. It's basically the entire U.S. and also Canada. Some teams in Canada. I mean, there's Vancouver, there's Toronto, there's another team. Who is it? But I mean, there's a lot of teams, isn't there? Yeah, there's Toronto FC, and then there's Vancouver Whitecaps, which is where Davies came from. Thank you, Vancouver Whitecaps. Yeah, but I think there's only two Canadian teams in the MLS, and they're actually good. Yeah, the Toronto FC did very well last season, didn't they? But they have very good players as well. I mean, I don't know too many of them, but Toronto is pretty good. Well, the state I live in, we only have one team, the Colorado Rapids, and they're crap. Oh, what did they do? I hope they get relegated. The owner is owned by Arsenal, so they're the same owners as the Arsenal owners, right? They're owned by the same people that own Arsenal, so you can imagine they don't invest or care. But they understand that, I mean, if owners are... David Beckham is a very smart businessman. If he realizes, wow, the American market is where we should go, he knows what is happening. I think there will be one day where Americans fill more stadiums and have higher quality stadiums than the best German team or the best Bundesliga or best Premier League teams, right? Like America will surpass Europe if it goes properly and if they do it properly, because we just have more people. We have more, money as well. Fans will pump more money into clubs. There's just way more passion, and when that American pride aspect of it gets into it, it will become like an actual football war, and we'll start producing twice as more talent as like Germany. We'll start producing actual talents because ultimately speaking, we have more people, and when we get kids playing, when kids start getting into academies, right? The problem here is that there's just no path to professional. Right, basketball, right? You go to high school, you have to. I mean, you pretty much, if you want a huge chance of going into a Division I college where you play with the best college basketball players, and then you might get picked into the NBA or drafted, they call it. It's pretty much like a transfer. It's a very stupid system, but if you do that, and then eventually you get to go to the. I mean, if you're good enough, to the NBA, which is it's like 2% of players get to the NBA. The NBA is crazy, right? That's their route to getting into professional basketball. Of course, you might just grow up and only be 5'10". You won't be 6'10", right? And then your chances are literally nothing. You're not going into the NBA that short. So it's very luck based. Whereas football, it's just anyone can get into it. But the thing is, there's no actual system, right? There's no youth academies you can go try out for. It's very much money based. If you're rich, if your parents have money, right? If they have connections, you go and you'll play. And that's how they figure out players, which is why we don't see world class players coming out of the MLS, because daddy and mommy made them play, right? And it wasn't actually realistic. Well, Europe does have 720 million people, and we have 350 million people, 330 million people in one country, right? Europe is a whole continent, and we literally have half your population in one country, which is crazy. This would be epic. More talent for Europe. Well, no, that's not happening. Come on. Yeah, but like I was saying, like, kids aren't really encouraged to play it because parents don't see a path to professionalism. Whereas if parents did see it, and if the MLS made it tangible for young players to come through and actually go play for top MLS clubs and actually be performing, and it wasn't based off height or body size or structure or even pace or physicality, and was based off talent, then kids would have to be forced to get better. We would see American kids, young kids, who playing in their backyard and practicing, dribbling, right? We wouldn't see them practicing how to clear the ball and be average players. We'd see them practice how to dribble the ball. You know what I mean? It's just, football is just so universal. I think that once it gets going in the U.S., it's the reason why so many teams in Europe have skyrocketed in values, because they have American owners. American supporters. Think about it. A team like Liverpool, Liverpool. When they start succeeding, you better believe the American market. Why do you think so many teams come here for preseason? Because once you have an American base, that's a lot of goddamn money. If you have 50,000 people in the U.S. buying shirts every single season. I mean, that's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of freaking money. Imagine a shirt is 99 and they buy two, so that's 180 times 50,000. That's 50,000 Americans. That is that 9 million? Yep, that's 9 million. And then imagine Liverpool have like a couple million here. Imagine that, right? Imagine they buy two shirts. That's a lot of goddamn money, right? Americans spend money. The problem about football in the Americas is that if the US were the best at football, they would have no international club competition because clubs of other nations in the Americas are not too good. I didn't get that. I mean, think about it. That's why Liverpool want to play here. That's why Bayern come over here to play. It's to gain fans. And do you see the stadiums? They're actually packed in preseason games, right? Relatively, there'll be a stadium of like 70,000 or 60,000 and 40,000 Bayern fans will show up in one city. Imagine that all over the US. Los Angeles, there's a lot of damn Bayern fans all over the place. They're spread out all over the place. Here, I've met a lot of people who are Bayern fans as well. And obviously they have the same excuse as I do. Ian Robin. I met this guy at the barber shop. He was my barber. And he was just telling me how his son is in love with Ian Robin and loves Bayern Munich. Like, we just had that conversation. And it was the day Leipzig were playing Spurs and I wanted to get home. And it was, the game was at 1 p.m., which is in Germany 10 or something, or 9 p.m., but I had to get home and watch it. But most clubs try to gain fans in the US, but also in Asia, most importantly China, but not as much as the US. But I mean, China's market is growing as well. I think, but the thing with China and Asia most specifically, they have a lot of counterfeit, you know. People take pride in buying things cheaper than they actually are. So you probably see a lot more counterfeit jerseys being sold. So that's why there isn't a huge emphasis on it. But I mean, you know, even Australia, you know, Manchester United go to Australia quite frequently. Liverpool end up going to, do Liverpool go to Korea, right? But I mean, most preseason tournaments take place here in the US. I mean, there's 330 million people who want something different to support. Eventually they'll just get on the bandwagon and start supporting the sport. I mean, imagine if Bayern had 5 million American fans, which I think is probably a realistic number because we do have a lot of fans here. 5 million times 180. That is, let's just say 5 million fans spent $100 on jerseys, or $200 per season on jerseys, which is very realistic because home and away. That's 100 million, isn't it? How many zeros is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 zeros. So 100 million. We would gain 100 million from just this market. I would like to play you in FIFA. Do you have an Xbox? Do you actually have an Xbox One? Because I have FIFA 20. China's market is very important because they have like 1.3 billion people and their economy is growing like crazy. Yeah, but again, they're counterfeit. I mean, China has 0 copyright laws, so realistically, you could just have everything fake, and also everything is made in China, so they understand how to get this stuff for cheaper. I know because I'm in e-commerce. I do e-commerce. I've done a lot of business. What do you think about Sane? I think we should go and buy him, and if we don't, I think I'll kill myself because I might as well just delete this channel because every single. Oh, you have a PS4. Every single video is about Sane. And eventually we talk. Today we haven't talked about Sane. Thanks, Ryan Williams, for bringing it up. Now I'm angry. Bayern Munich haven't bought Sane. Yes, of course. Great. So like I was saying, like Bayern Munich could realistically, if 5 million Americans bought $200 worth of jerseys and merchandise every season, could earn 100 million per season just in the US. Right? Oh no, that's 1 billion. Never mind. It's 1 billion. 1 billion. No, obviously that's ludicrous. But I'm saying it could happen, you know. That's ludicrous. Maybe 1 million, right? Okay, that's 200 million. But do you see what I'm talking about? Right? If you just have Americans spending American money into football, which is, I think that's why so many teams just have all. I mean, people like, I've seen people just wear jerseys of random teams, and I ask them, why? Do you support them? They just say, no, it looks cool. A lot of people like PSG jerseys here. I don't know. They just say Neymar, Mbappe. It's just crazy, you know. It's crazy. Do you rate Kondogbia? I thought he was decent, but you know, he hasn't really hit his. I don't know. How old is Kondogbia? You haven't read this. If the U.S. clubs were the best, they would have no CL equivalent because clubs from Brazil are not good enough to compete with the U.S. I did read it, I just didn't understand it. No, clubs from Argentina and Mexico would improve if the U.S. improved. I think that's true. I think that, you know, football is a capitalist sport. It really is. They force each other to improve. I think that capitalism is the best system I've ever seen because socialism forces every single person to be the same. Communism forces every single person to adhere to the same rules, right? But football is a capitalist sport, as in, if one club gets better, the other club will be like, oh, we got to get better, right? Liverpool are this rate they're at because other clubs have let them be that way. Well, I want to see Sane. I'm tired of rumors. Me too. Why don't you have PS4? Because I just have an Xbox and I like it, and I don't want to buy a PS4. I don't know how to use the controls. I've always liked Xbox controls. It fits my type of hands, you know. I have medium-sized hands, so, you know, it just works for me. So like I was saying, it's just crazy. The market has grown so much. I got the feeling that Timo Werner will join Bayern. They never denied anything in the last press conference. Muller said something like a system with two strikers is very possible. Yeah, we do have a lot of good strikers at the club. Muller could play striker, but he's not a world-class striker. Zagzy's going to be a striker. You know, it could mean anything, but I mean, Hansi Flick also said, yes, a two-striker system is possible because they asked them if a two-striker system was possible. They didn't say, is Timo Werner coming to Bayern Munich and will you play a two-striker system? If they said yes to that, then I would say, okay, what you're saying makes complete sense. Timo Werner will come to Bayern Munich. But, you know, right now, that doesn't make any sense. But, yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's crazy. If we only had... Oh, jeez. I mean, that's probably how the club makes so much revenue. Werner is plan B. Yeah, I think, you know, I don't even want him as a plan. If we're going to get Werner, it should be because we bought Werner and Sane. I don't want one or the other. I want both. Werner and Sane would make this team so classy. I mean, we could just, I don't care if Werner doesn't play. I don't care if Sane doesn't play. You know, if we had Werner and Sane, that would be insane, right? If we just had two, I don't care if it's going to upset someone. I don't care if I want both. You know, Real Madrid have this crazy depth. Why don't we ever get this crazy depth, you know? So it's just crazy to me. I mean, think about it. I was thinking about it. Like, how many German fans of Bayern Munich actually spend money? It's other clubs from England that push them, and German people, and English people in general. The U.S. population won't push other nations' clubs, only their own. So probably U.S. wouldn't have a Champions League equivalent. No, I'm saying if the U.S. clubs were just this good, right? The Brazilian clubs and the South American clubs would actually somehow force their way to get better. They would have to get better for literally sometimes, and this is what Liverpool have done, right? Liverpool have gotten better because they realize, oh crap, we got to get better. Times are evolving. So what? They used Moneyball tactics. Bought cheap players that were very good but underrated in the system because they didn't, you know, run fast enough, right? So, you know, football will get like this. Would you get Sane, Werner, and Havertz if that would mean Bayern wouldn't buy another player in the season? Yeah, of course. No, but we need a center back, don't we? Everyone leave a like on the video, so I'm happy. Bayern won't spend so much money. Yeah, but we say that, but did we think Lucas Hernandez would cost 70 million? No, we will spend a lot of money. It's just, will we spend it on the right players? I think Bayern really wants Havertz. But then again, think about it. The transfer values of every team's players will go down. Are you even thinking maybe that Sane will stay at City? No, I don't think he'll stay at City. I don't think Sane and Pep like each other that much. Sane didn't play a lot last season, but when he did, he was so good. And I was wondering why he was always on the bench. What do you think about Serginho Dest? I think Dest isn't who I'm looking for. I want Hakimi. I think, you know, I just like Hakimi. He's faster than Dest. He can cross. He's the second best right back in the world. And I'd even say he's the best. I mean, technically he's the best, but in terms of stats and data, Alexander-Arnold is better than him. But still, I love Serginho Dest. but he's American as well. He would win some fans over here. But I'm looking for Hakimi. I'm looking for the very best of the best. If we're trying to get to that level where no one can compete with us, I want the best of the best. Real Madrid won't use Hakimi. I'm almost confident that Hakimi will end up somewhere. Zidane will not sell Hakimi to you. Well, ask Zidane if he wants to drop Carvajal. Zidane loves Dani Carvajal to the point where he took off Adriozola, who was playing well, to Hakimi would be amazing, but it's not realistic. No, that's ludicrous. That's BS. If you go to Hakimi and say, hey, we'll play you right back every game, just come to us and we'll promise you play with world-class players around you, just like a Real Madrid. He'll say, you know what? Real Madrid are going to play Carvajal ahead of me. I'm going to go to Bayern Munich. You think Bayern would buy Hakimi? I think we were linked to him. We were linked to him. A lot of sources came and said we were linked to him. We were inquiring about him. We never got the answer, I don't think. And honestly, I think what's going to end up happening is that it's going to go to the summer. I think when Hakimi returns to Real Madrid, if he gets clarity that we're playing, then it makes sense. Liverpool are practically an American product. You say with the Moneyball mythology, Hurley Benitez, Daglish, and Hodgson were pathetic. I always said when Gerrard left, they would flourish. I mean, yeah, Liverpool just... I mean, how did they get Robertson? Liverpool got Robertson because they were smart, which is why I'm saying, if American clubs got better, eventually what you'll see is that Brazilian clubs will start finding different innovative ways. Businessmen from all over the world will find ways and buy these clubs and actually get them to the top level without spending millions and millions. So, yeah, and it would also help the American economy and also the world economy, right? It would help if just Americans were better at football. Will Alaba leave because Davies plays more? No, Alaba will leave because he wants to leave. Alaba will always, if it was a decision between Alaba and Davies, even though I think Davies is better, it's going to be Alaba. He's been here longer, Davies can wait, and Alaba is just a brilliant player, world class in any position. Is Alexandro better than Alfonso? No. Yeah, Ruminage is a fan of Hakimi, and I'm a fan of Hakimi. Leave a like on the video, everyone. I keep plugging the damn channel because I know this. YouTube likes. They like when people are engaged, which is why I love these comments, because it's just so engaging for me. This is therapy because, I like this. I like waking up and doing this. It's so fun. Alexandro will never be better than Alfonso Davies. Alexandro can't do what Davies can do on the pitch. I've never seen a kid that can do that at 19 years old. Davies is only 19, by the way. Have I mentioned Davies is only 19? Dortmund is your Southampton. No, Dortmund wouldn't be our Southampton. It would be our youth academy, because technically we've gotten more players from our youth academy than we've gotten from Dortmund. And if you look at it, Dortmund also get a lot of players from us. Hey, they took Emre Can, our youth academy player, from us. They should give that back, I see a lot of reports about Kai Havertz saying he wants to come to us by Sky. What do you think? I think Sky Sports are as relevant as my grandmother, who's dead. So I don't care about Sky Sports. They've had so many bogus stories come out. They literally said, Neuer was about to move to Chelsea. I think Sky Sports can't be trusted. I don't trust them. I don't trust anything to do with Sky. I don't trust them at all. They push agendas all the time, They like to do that. I just don't like Sky Sports. I just really don't. I don't like it. I don't like any news outlets telling me that, this player wants to join, because if it doesn't happen, that would piss me off, because I'd be thinking, hey, I was hoping that happened. I wouldn't be happy if we didn't get these players. Sky Sports aren't reliable anymore. They use fake stories to boost getting it. I remember when they said Chelsea wanted Jetson Fernandez. Yeah, they're just so unreliable. I can't stand this. There's so much fake news out there. Sorry to be a Donald Trump, but there is a lot of fake news out there, and they have their own agendas. They'll maybe say a story to appease fans of different clubs. It's just all bogus to me. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would Havertz, who's been saying a lot that, I'm open to moves, and then just say in a day, I want to move to Bayern Munich, that's a guarantee. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? I think Havertz will actually end up here. right? I don't know when, maybe next year or this summer, but realistically, he will end up here. I mean, it's another Goretzka thing where he's linked to everyone. And I think everyone did want Goretzka, but Goretzka was like, I want to go to the best club in my country. And he did that. And I don't think any player wants to move anywhere else. I mean, I don't understand why people told me this, like someone told me this. Why don't German players leave Germany and go experience something else? Do you see Harry Maguire going to Barcelona? Do you ever see Rio Ferdinand going to Inter Milan or something? Do you even see Maldini going? It's just you like your own country, man. You like speaking German with your German friends and teammates. Southampton or Dortmund law. Anglophile sheep with their blind propaganda. Southampton players of any account, Mane and Van Dijk. Funny how all their academy products flop. Overhyped guff. I mean, that's true. Southampton did have a very good recruitment system. Was Pochettino there when Southampton were where they were? I don't know yet. I don't know. Was Southampton still there? I'm not Pochettino at Southampton when they were in there with Mane. I don't remember. But I think he was, and that would be crazy. Pochettino has done so much. I mean, how did Pochettino do that? Harry Maguire and Kane struggle with English. That's true. Actually, I can understand Harry Maguire. I mean, yeah, exactly. Players want to speak their own language. I mean, most German players can speak German and English. It's very common. But I think most players want to stay in their country because it just makes sense. You're staying close to your friends. Your mom could be living in Munich and she'd be feeling at home. Sometimes, think about it. Players move their entire families with them. They move their mom, their uncles. It's actually realistic. I heard somewhere Diego Dalot lives with his mom and his sister. It's crazy. You think they live in Portugal, but they live in England, right? Which is why you see so many players want to stay in their country. Although it's so much about Sane, I feel he'll come to Bayern this summer. And if he doesn't, that's going to suck. I mean, are they going to move the transfer window? No one answered me this. Why do players have contracts only up to 5 years? I never understood that. I never really did. England is the best league. Every player says it's their dream to play there. Damn. Really? I'll keep saying this. Did Raul say he wanted to play in England? Did Ronaldo? Did Ronaldinho? Did Lionel Messi? I mean, even Cristiano Ronaldo left because he knew, I want to go play for Real Madrid. Sunny Spain, it's nice to play in Spain. I mean, the amount of players that have said it's their dream to play in La Liga. What's his name? Kieran Trippier said, it's always been my dream to play in a club like this. No, it's always been my dream to play in a club like this. Atletico Madrid. No, players say that because they need to. Ronaldinho wanted to join Chelsea, but Jose chose Drogba. But did he say it was his dream to always play in England? No, he didn't, because he understood that, goddamn, I'm in Serie A, I'm in La Liga. Ronaldinho lived his best life. It's as English as pizza and the three must be. It's not an EPL. Yeah, I don't understand. Why would a player want to join the Premier League over La Liga? Why would a player want to join any league over another league, right? Unless it was money reasons. I think most players want to join the Premier League only because of money, because there's no fame in it. I mean, think about it. I think La Liga is the most popular league in terms of followers. So if you wanted to go anywhere, you go to La Liga to go gain yourself 50 million followers. Sergio Ramos oh my god. Paul Pogba from the Serie A is more, I think, is he the most followed EPL player? No, was it Salah? I don't understand. You won't gain, and you'll be in sunny. Premier League is the richest league in the world. No, I don't. I mean, rich is in broadcasting rights. Yeah, the Prem know how to do business, but what does that have to do with it being a preferred destination? It doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, you also, I mean, the fact that how many leagues do you see with just clubs coming out of nowhere like Man City have and winning the league, the way they have? Even Leipzig didn't spend the money City have. Leipzig haven't even spent close to the money City have. Leipzig haven't really spent any money. Imagine Ronaldinho against pub teams like Watford and Palace, Norwich. Back in the day, the Cumberstone defenders would have dislocated ankles epidemic. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Some of the greatest players of all time never played in the Premier League. Have you wondered why? It's because they're not interested in it. When did the Prem actually become relevant? Because I swear it was called the English Premiership or something at some point. It was called the First Division. It wasn't. They rebranded the Premier League very smartly to make it look like the Premier League. But the players that end up going and playing in the Premier League are never the greatest players of all time. It just never happens. Some of the greatest, most iconic footballers never played in the Premier League. Did Johan Cruyff play in the Premier League? Or are you trying to tell me that Johan Cruyff was terrible because he didn't play in the Prem? Right? Did Franz Beckenbauer play in the Premier League? And how many? I'll go back to this. It's not just about the Premier League. There's obviously great Premier League players. I think Van Dijk is a fantastic, superb player. But is Van Dijk English? Because the Premier League is English, right? But Beckenbauer is German, right? How many great players in history have been from their country and won stuff with their country in the league that their country has? Johan Cruyff, did Johan Cruyff win things with Holland? No, he didn't actually. I mean, did Ruud Gullit, one of the greatest center mids of all time, play in the Premier League? Or center forwards actually as well. He played everything, didn't he? David Silva and Aguero, La Liga graduates who pissed all over the EPL nearly a decade. Maradona had a good spell at Burnley, I'm sure. Do you feel Bayern Munich going in the right direction with the squad rebuild? I think so. I think with Zagzi coming in, but there's news that we might buy Perisic. You know what? I was thinking about it, and I wouldn't actually mind it. It would mean that, okay, he's 30, right? I said, okay, why are we getting a 30-year-old? But if he's 10 million, I'm okay with it. And Perisic is a decent player. I watched a lot of the World Cup, and he was very good. He's such a big game player. I think he's someone to come on last 20 minutes or last 15 minutes of the game, get you a goal in a good game, a crucial game, get you an assist. Perisic would be a good addition. I was a bit skeptical at first, but now I'm like, yeah, that could be a good decision for us, especially in a time where, how many good players, Perisic also stays fit. Thank you, Adriozola, from coming all over from Madrid, Spain, and get one of our key players injured. Thank you so much. I can't believe he got injured. He never gets an injury, but that's exactly what you need. Just a solid player. Is a classy, selfless wing forward. Yeah, I mean, he's just so selfless. The assist he gets, he could shoot himself. I think, yeah, he's decent. Nothing, not world class. He's not going to improve. He's just decent. He's going to be a good option off the bench to really give a squad depth. You think we should keep? No, absolutely not. Keep Coutinho? I'd rather die. No, we are not keeping Coutinho. He's been so underwhelming. Another player, no, come on. Him and Rebic tortured England by work rate alone. I mean, think about that too. England lost to freaking Croatia. I thought it was England's golden generation. It's like every, Euros, every World Cup, it's England's golden generation. Are you trying to tell me that Declan Rice is better than Sven Bender at Bayer Leverkusen? No, he's not. It's just, there's levels to football, and England had great players in history, but how many of them were the greatest of all time? The greatest player, one of the greatest players, the top 5 not a single one comes out of England. That's crazy. David Beckham was like, I'm leaving this country, and when he left, he went and played well, and a smart player like Beckham, that's why I respect Beckham. He was like, the Premier League is dead, I'm gonna go play in Spain and just enjoy it, and he enjoyed it, and he played with some of the best players of all time. And people will remember. And even here, people still say stuff like bend it like Beckham for no reason whatsoever. Just because he played in La Liga and he was so popular, Seriously, come on. Raul, Ronaldo, R9. Cristiano Ronaldo left the Premier League. He didn't end his career there. Lionel Messi never played in the Premier League, has 6 Ballon d'Ors and a bunch of Champions League trophies. And he's done incredibly well. Took his team to a World Cup. England hasn't been in the World Cup final since 1966. Argentina was in 2014. And they have supposedly a player who's a systematic player. Bigger legacy by going to Madrid. I agree, Beckham was smart. Yeah, Beckham is so well known here. In the US, he's so well known because he has a legacy. He didn't end his career by playing for, just I just don't understand. Think about it. It's just so crazy. Do you feel Neuer wants too much? Is there? Or do you feel Neuer want too much? No, Alexander Newell is there. Well, now that Alexander Newell is there, the news is that Neuer wants a 20 million a year contract and an extra 5 years. And in 5 years, in 2025, Manuel Neuer will be almost 40 years old, and Alexander Newell, our new goalkeeper, would actually, surprisingly enough, be 29. So yeah, Neuer. No, I don't agree. Which is why I think, you know what, he should be here for 2-3 years and then leave. Yeah, he's a legend already. Come on, Neuer. What do you want? Do you want a Ballon d'Or or something? You're not gonna get it at 34. He's already 34 right now. So, oh my God, no. Thank God the club haven't signed this. It's a great decision. Neuer is obviously still good, but we need someone better. I mean, someone was telling me. I mean, there was a point where, English people were saying Pickford was one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Come on. Jesus Christ. Germany's goalkeeping lineup, he wouldn't even get in the top 5, in my opinion. Look at Leno, better than Pickford. Look at, Jesus Christ, there's so many good German goalkeepers. Look at Ter Stegen, obviously one of the best. Look at Neuer, look at Newell. Just those 4 alone would just triumph him. There's so much. Haradeski, there's just too much. All over Germany, there's too much. And look at the right back. I mean, I actually believe Trent is good. I think he's one of the more classy English players with actual ability. The way he passes, I love that. I think he could be a great midfielder in my opinion. I don't think he's a right back. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is more of a deep line playmaker, or even an advanced playmaker. Not a box to box with license to move forward, kind of like a Pogba. Because I think Trent, just the passing range. He could be like a Michael Carrick, who I actually think is great. I think he's a great Premier League midfielder. He had everything in him. There's so much. The players that are actually good from England, no one rates. Well, no English, because they're not fast and run around and press. Trent, Gomez, and Sancho are the English talents I rate. Yeah, they have different. Sancho, look at him. Just different levels to him. It's just so saucy on the pitch. Alright, I will end the stream here. I have to go and do other things so that I can actually stream FIFA earlier than I do. That's why I try to get off early, because then I'm able to do all my stuff that I need to do, then stream FIFA, and now I'm feeling better actually. My throat doesn't hurt anymore. Oh yeah, water helps. Oddly enough, honey works so well because it just, I guess it breaks down mucus. Thiago should stay, obviously. Thiago ready to tackle God Cantara. If he doesn't stay, I'm going to be pissed. He's still in the golden era. I remember Adler and Leno. Alright, I'll leave the stream here, but thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia San Mia and peace.